Hi, this is Gina. Welcome back to Tight Ship Mama and the series I'm calling Happiest Holidays. I started this video showing you my bin I have in the basement that is clearly labeled early/Advent. The reason that bin exists is because for so many years I was an absolute hot mess to the point that we would be 3 weeks into Advent before I even bought the candles. The whole purpose of Christmas is to celebrate the birth of Christ. So I thought I need to get my act together and have more intentional Advents. So this video I'm calling Intentional Advent, and it's just to give you a few ideas of what you can do to bring more Christ into the season and make it a little more intentional and joyful. This is my absolute favorite part of the Christmas season. Zero stress, complete joy. What we have here is my display of Advent bags. This was one of the first sewing projects my mother-in-law and I ever did together. It's just a very simple rectangular bag with a drawstring. And I have 3 purples because there's 3 weeks of lighting the purple candles and 1 week of pink. And that's the 3rd week of Advent, and we call that Gaudete Sunday, or the week of hope. So that's a visual for my kids to know that when we get to pink, we're really getting close. Every year Advent is actually a different number of days, and this year it conveniently falls on December 1st is when it begins. So it's just the 25 days with obviously Christmas Day being the grand finale. So what do I put in these bags? I start easy. The first bag I fill is the very last bag, and that has baby Jesus in it. So on Christmas morning, the youngest child will come, open the bag, they'll take baby Jesus out, we'll go put him in the manger, and the kids will either sing happy birthday or we say a prayer, but it just reminds us as we begin the day that he is the reason for the season, and then we dive into our gifts. So I start with the very last bag, and that's with him. Start easy. The next thing I do is I go through my calendar and I say, what do we have going on that's already set in stone? So for instance, in my toys video, I told you how my mom takes the girls for tea with Santa. So I will count out what day that's going to fall on. And I just have little cards. These are, you can't see these very well. These are old Christmas cards that weren't used, you can't see it. But anyway, it's a little Christmas card, and on the inside it says, tea time with Santa and Grandma, put on your pretty dresses and let's go. It's, that's only for my daughters, which is another part of this. The kids don't always get something every day. So for instance, my son doesn't get to go on this, but he has his own things. He's a Boy Scout, he does things with them. He's also old enough to work the soup kitchen with me, so he gets to do those special things. And it just lets the kids know that every day is not their day and the world doesn't revolve around them. So we start with the calendar. The next thing we'll do is we'll get our church bulletin out, or if you don't go to a church or something like that, just get out if you have a community calendar. But we will usually start Advent with the family rosary, and we'll pick a family that's either in the bulletin for a reason, maybe they have someone that's sick, maybe someone's deployed from their family, something like that. So we will start the Advent season with the family rosary. And the bulletin has lots of great ideas too. Sometimes you adopt a family and you buy gifts, or there's canned food drives or coat drives. All those things are great examples of what you can be putting in your bags. Also, I forgot to say, if you don't have these bags or you don't have anything like this, do not worry. Everything can be done for free. Just get a piece of paper and put it on the kitchen table in the morning, and the kids can come in and be so excited. What are we doing today? Or who are we going to give to today? You can make this all about prayer. You can make it all about service, or you can make it about giving big. It depends on where you are. You can mix it up a little bit. Maybe you've saved up so you can give big this time of the year. So any way you want to work it, there's no right or wrong way to do it. The whole idea is to make it a little more intentional with growing closer to God in this season of working up to his birth. The next thing we'll do is we will go through the mail. At this time of year, we get lots of requests from charities, and we'll go through, we'll see who we're going to give to that year. Some of these are for toys, if you adopt a family, or clothing. Maybe you go on their website and they have a list So I'll try to take the kids when I go shopping for that stuff so that they are seeing that we're giving, because so many times kids don't see what the parents are giving financially. So this is a great time of year to show the kids that you are spending money on other families, and especially if you can get a family that has kids around your own kids' age, that really makes it personal for them too, that they're picking out a toy or clothing for someone that's their own age. Then I just continue filling in. I don't always fill in every single day because you want to leave a little wiggle room for yourself. For instance, if you were going to plan on making cookies for the neighbors, but maybe that turns into a really rough week and you think, I cannot make cookies for the neighbors. So give yourself flexibility to adjust on the fly. Maybe you buy cookies, or maybe you totally switch it to something else. One of my go-tos for days like that are game night, reading the daily readings from church, praying for each other, doing gratitude exercises, anything like that. Let your kids think of these things too when you're stuck. Don't get stressed out. Just say, hey guys, I didn't think of anything today. What can we do? And they might come up with something really generous that you never would have thought of. The other thing that I really enjoy doing, I came up with this one last year. My son has a bunch of these soldiers. So I'll hide about 10 of them, and in one of the bags, I'll have the soldier with a little note that says, every time you find a soldier today, say a prayer for our military that might be away from home for the season, or even if they're not deployed, all the people that defend our country. And I always put one in their lunch boxes too, because it doesn't hurt for the other kids at the lunch table to see what we're doing and to say a prayer for our military as well. Maybe they just didn't think to stop and do that. So every time you find a soldier, stop and say a prayer for our military families. I am going to list a whole bunch of ideas in the description box below this video, so feel free to check out all of those ideas, but come up with your own. Leave me a message on Facebook at Tight Ship Mama and let me know what your family does to make Advent a little more intentional. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.